The Central Bank of the Gambia's Monetary Committee on Tuesday unveiled the report of the Monetary Policy Committee during a press briefing. The committee opted to increase the monetary policy rate by 1.0 percentage point, setting it at 17.0% with the intention of mitigating the growth domestic inflation. During the press briefing, Boasedi, the governor of the Central Bank of the Gambia, provided a summary of the deliberations that influenced the committee's decision.
The global economic conditions have improved since the last NPC meeting in May of this year. Economic activity continues to recover, although there remains significant uncertainties. Positive developments include the recovery of the global supply chain and the reassuring end of fears of a broader banking crisis following bank failures in the US and in Europe during the early part of this year. However, there are still significant headwinds that continue to drag global economic activities. The high level of inflation is eroding purchasing power, compounded by the high cost of borrowing attributed to tight monetary policy stance and the ongoing geopolitical tensions. Against this background, the IMF in July 2023 upgraded its global economic growth forecast by 0.2 percentage points to 3.0% for 2023, which is still lower than the 3.5% recorded in 2022.
The governor went on to say that global inflation continues to moderate, reflecting the aggressive interest rate hikes by central banks.
The easing of the general price level also reflects the improvement in the global supply chain that resulted in lower global energy and food prices. A recent forecast by the IMF predicts a continued slowdown in global inflation, dropping from an average of 8.7% in 2022 to 6.7% in 2023, and further down to 5.2% in 2024. However, international commodity prices rose in July after 3 months of decline. Crude oil prices saw the biggest monthly increase since January, which was attributed to the decision by OPEC to cut crude production levels. The IMF average crude oil price index increased by 7.8% from June to July 2023. Despite this, the IMF predicts crude oil prices to still fall by 2024 this year.
The governor also states that Gambian economy continues to exhibit remarkable resilience supported by strong private demand.
Recovery in tourism and public and private sector consumption and investments. The central bank's composite index of economic activity registered a growth of 3.5 and 5.2% in the first and second quarter of 2023, respectively, which indicates a robust level of economic activity. These factors have contributed to a positive economic outlook for 2023, with the bank projecting real GDP growth to surpass 5%. This represents a 0.7 percentage point upward revision from the May forecast. However, the balance of risk to the growth outlook is tilted to the downside. Major risks that could hinder the growth prospects include the high level of inflation, structural rigidities in the domestic economy, volatile commodity prices, and the unstable global geopolitical environment.
The price of commodities also increased in the international market due to the suspension of the Black Sea Grain Initiative and India's ban on exporting non-basmati white rice. International rice prices, in particular, continue to surge, reaching the highest level in almost 12 years. The Food and Agriculture Organization Food Price Index in July rose by 1.3% from the previous month. The FAO Rice Price Index went up on average by 2.8% from June to July 2023, which puts it at 19.7% higher than the level it was in the same period last year. Reporting for Kerr Fatou, I am Fatou Silla.